Hey everybody, it's Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard. I'm coming here today to tell you a little bit about testRigor and how easy it is to automate with their tool. How easy is it? Well, because it only works in plain English. And that makes it like 95% super easy. I mean, check it out. You could type in, click on the third hello 5 times, or just click cart, or click in the middle of the screen, and testRigor will figure that all out. And like I said, 95% easy, but there's 5% that's a little tricky, especially if you don't know regular expressions. So today, I'm going to show you fun with regular expressions. So in this session, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about basic pattern matching, common regular expressions, how you can do dynamic characters, classes and sets, and optional characters, and literal characters. And by the way, during these sessions, I'm going to have a little bit of a test for you. So when you see this sign down here, the spacebar, click it and pause the video. Come up with your own answers and then hit the spacebar again and see what it is that was the correct answer and see if it matches yours. Alright, let's get started. First of all, what are regular expressions and what are they used for? Well, primarily they're used to capture a collection of text from a string. So let's take a look at this example right here. I've got a string that starts with an A and has a B and some numbers and a dot in the middle. If I wanted to extract out just the A and the B and leave the ones without numbers in this, I could write this regular expression right here. The only thing is, maybe it's a little weird to look at. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that in this session. So, the first question you might have, I don't speak regex. Well, actually, you might. If you've ever worked with the command prompt, and you've done something like dir star, you've probably written at least 2 of the regular expression characters out there. And this is actually a translation down here. Check it out. The star means 0 or more characters right here. A period is, in this case, a literal period, but that is different in regular expressions. We'll get to that. And then followed by another star. So this is basically saying, find me any character, follow it with a dot with another character, and it will find everything up there that has a character with other characters after it. That's your basic. You've already got at least 2 of these guys down here, and let's go on. So, why use regular expressions? Well, in automation we do it because we might end up with some maintenance. Let's give an example. Let's say I have a home button here that has a text property called return, but in the next release it's now called return home. And maybe our automation tool doesn't actually identify this. Alright, well we could put in a regular expression that says return with these parentheses in blue, check it out, and a question mark that says, hey, I want to match this whether it says return or it says return home, and home may or may not be there. Match it anyway. So that's exactly where you got your first start. Our parentheses and question marks, we'll get a little bit deeper into that. It gets a little bit more complex when you're trying to verify a text that's on the screen, but it's changing. So take a look at this. Here's an old Amazon page out here, and it says that there's 5,392 customer reviews. And what happens a month later? Well, now you've got 5,468 customer reviews. Is there any way we're going to be able to match a string like that? Well, you could with a regular expression, like this one right here. And this one just basically says, hey, match if it says 10 customers, 1,000 customers, 1,000,000 customers. But the one thing it won't do is it won't match if there's 1 customer. And why is that? Well, we'll have to explain a little bit about regular expressions more to get that down. So how do you read a regular expression? Well, I once showed this to my son when he was just about 4 years old. I showed my son these words right up here, which are in cursive writing. And I asked him, what are these words? Now, he could read easily enough, but when he looked at cursive writing, he told me, he's like, well, Dad, first of all, the 3 is backwards, and you're crossing out this wave, and there's a couple of sailboats. He just didn't understand it because it was all squashed together. But if you separate it apart, then it became a little bit more identifiable. So let's do the same thing with our regular expressions here. We're going to spread that out into the individual items and kind of translate them into what they mean. So first of all, those parentheses, that translates to mean I'm looking for one group, and there's a plus over here which says, hey, I'm looking for 1 or more groups, and then followed by a /d, which means that's a digit, any digit, 0 through 9. And there's maybe more than 1 digit. I'm looking for, and that's what the question mark means, more than 1 digit. So we're up to the second one, and then, but no more than 3 digits because that's all we've got. 1, 2, 3 digits. I'm only looking for 1, 2, or 3 digits, and possibly followed by a comma, which makes that 1,000, 1, comma, 0, 0, 0, right? and then followed by the words customer reviews, which is just a literal match down there. And that's how that breaks it down. Okay, so let's take a look at our quantifiers. There's 7 of them, a dot and a star and a question mark. And then there's classes, sets, and alternation and literal values. And we'll get to those in just a moment. There's a few gotchas you have to understand: bidirectional modification and overloaded functionality. Let's start off with that bidirectional modification. What do I mean by that? It means that for the most part, on average, any 2 characters that you see, they will modify the previous character. Like the star is modifying the previous letter. The question mark is modifying the S, saying it may or may not be there. A plus sign is modifying the previous collection of numbers out there from 0 to 9. The only one that is a exception is the backslash, which is an escape modifier, in case you need to actually use an actual regular expression but as a literal character. So if I literally want to have a period, this one's in blue, that's a regex, this one's in black, the backslash will allow you to put in regular expression characters and have it identified as a literal character. All right, second little gotcha is there is overloaded functionality. Some of these properties have multiple ways that things work. So this parentheses says, hey, I need to match this or that, either one. But it also means I need to capture submatches. That's a little bit more advanced. We won't be getting into this on this session, but keep that in mind. The question mark, same thing. It could be an optional match, as we saw on the previous slide, or it could be a non-capturing group or positive or negative looking ahead with these characters. Again, that's the advanced course. We're just going to get you over the basics of this. All right, so other overloaded functionality, the literal question mark, the backslash is for, that's a literal question mark, and then we have a /D, which also could be a shortcut for 0 through 9. Carets also work a little bit differently. They can mean that if they're in negate, inside of brackets, they're a negate, and if they're just alone, it's just an anchor. It means it's starting the string. All right, so regular expressions, each element that we've just been looking at, they're actually called an atom, and they match one character at a time. So here's a single literal character match, A. All it's going to match is the letter A. Really easy, nothing hard there. The second one is a meta character. So this is one. These are the ones that are in blue. When you see this, it means that's actually a meta character on these slides. And this one right here, a period will match any single character except for a new line. In this one, we have a combination, and what we have there is square brackets followed by a plus sign, which means match any single vowel. All right, A, E, I, O, or U, but not all of them, just one. So there are 3 different ways that you can look at meta characters, and a few combinations will match more than one character. So like dot star is going to match any number of characters except for another line. Regular expressions, they match one character at a time. Pattern matching consists of, an A, a literal, a dot, or 2 characters, or 3 meta characters, so she just covered. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at our first challenge. These are literal characters, regex, CAT. That's actually a regex. It's not in blue. That's a clue. So our challenge is, what will this regex match? Hit the space bar now, pause, and think about, what's it going to match? What won't it match? Okay, great. So we're back, and what did it match? It only matches one thing. It's cat with a capital C. What won't it match? Well, it is going to be like cat with a lowercase c, or the word cut with a capital C, or dog or Kate with an E at the end. Won't match any of those. All right, next on, our dot matches any character except for a new line. So here is our next challenge, C.T. What will it match and what won't it match? Hit spacebar now. Okay, we're back, and C.T is going to match, well, it'll match cat or cut or even C space T, if you can believe that. All right, what won't it match? All right, it's not going to match a cat with a lowercase c. It's not going to match a dog, and it also won't match CA with a space at the end, or even CA that doesn't have a T, because it has to have the T to make the match. All right, next we're going to talk about quantifiers, matching the previous character, 1 time, 0 times, or more than once. So the first one is our star, and it matches the preceding character 0 or more times. So this is going to say match any character followed by 0 or more characters. So here's our challenge. What will this regex match? ST.star. Here's your chance again. Hit that spacebar to pause the video and think about what it matches and what it doesn't. All right. So first of all, let's take a look at what it matches. st.star could match words like string or even Saint Cloud with that space in there. Sty, S-T-Y, and it would also match st, all capital S's out there. All right, what it won't match is sty with a lowercase s. Easy peasy, right? Let's move on. Next we have the plus sign, and this matches the preceding character one or more times. It just won't match if it doesn't appear. So if we have s plus, it's a literal lowercase s over here, followed by one or more lowercase s's. That's what this means. So let's do our challenge here. Get ready to hit that space bar. It's coming up. Regex DES plus ERT. What's that going to match? What won't it match? Okay, let's take a look. Our matches are, well, desert, D-E-S-E-R-T, that's great. Dessert, there you go. And if you speak parcel tongue, like snakes and Harry Potter, like a wizard I do, you're going to get dessert, which is what snakes eat, I suppose. What won't it match? If there's no S in there, like D-E-E-R-T, it's not going to find that. Let's move on to matching preceding characters 0 or 1 time. That's with the question mark. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Are these characters showing up today or not? I don't know. They're kind of lazy. They're not showing up at all. I don't know. They might be here. So regex, customer reviews with a question mark, literal customer reviews over here, followed by possibly an S. So let's do our challenger. What would customer review with a question mark at the end match? Hit that space bar. All right, let's continue on. The matches would be customer review and customer reviews, either with or without an S. Easy peasy, but what it won't match, customer reviews with a lowercase and a question mark at the end. Neither one of those would actually match on that. Hey everybody, so we've come halfway through this session on fun with regex with testRigor, and there's a couple tools up here I want to tell you about, but that's going to be in part 2. Please click this link right over here and you'll see the rest of it. And if you've come this far, I hope you'll come just a little bit further. My name is Paul Grossman, the Dark Arts Wizard, and I hope you have yourself a great day. See you on the other side.